think we kind of went into it with a nothing to lose mentality, and like we gotta go score, sling the ball around, just go let loose.
What if I told you the pandemic was the best thing to happen to the class of 2022?
Blake, this question's to you, I guess. I remember talking to you once during football practice. You said you were still going in and getting shots up at 6:30. So how did you kind of approach preparing for basketball season this year while also still dealing with football season going on?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a quick turnaround, and I knew I had to keep the shot fresh, and so I knew it was gonna be a quick turnaround, like I said.
And following the shutdown, the ball boy would be the News Gazette Athlete of the Year.
For you. You want to open that up? Blake is our male athlete of the year for the high school sports season in 2021-22 school year.
Blake Kimball grew up in a subdivision with a giant common area right behind his house. This would be where he and his buddies would develop their sandlot skills.
It's fun. We play a lot of baseball games back there, football. That's where we get our backyard football from. So, I mean, we had a lot of fun. We played basketball. We just did a bunch of different fun things like every day. I mean, we were out there for 8 to 10 hours a day usually, just having fun.
Classmates Haley and Taylor and Dylan and just being together and being friends and doing something innocent. It was just nice to see them play.
I would say that Blake was your typical coach's son, and what I mean by that, having had a son, when I was coaching, he was a gym rat. He was a kid that was interested in athletics. He was interested in all different kinds of sports, active, always playing, always wanting to be around the action, and I think that really gave him an insight that a lot of other students or athletes don't get.
The coaching staff here in Unity they were all open arms and allowed him to do things that most kids that go to school here probably didn't have the opportunities that he had. So we're blessed that he was able to do that. And with baseball, Coach Cunningham kind of was the first guy here that said, you know, come out to practice, be our bat boy, hang around. And so he got to hang around some pretty cool athletes here at Unity right off the bat.
He was at every game. You know, when at first you thought, man, how can this little guy be the ball boy and do this? And then the next thing you knew, he was on the sideline in pregame catching 50-yard passes from every coach. And, you know, how far can you throw it to him? And, you know, from the time he started, he just soaked in everything with Unity and soaked in athletics. And, you know, probably even in junior high, I think that his knowledge for the game and his game smarts and his court sense and his field awareness, I think those were the things that kind of started to set him apart. And, you know, I think that, you know, starts and you know, has a tie-in with being the ball boy and being on the basketball bench and, you know, traveling all over to see all these things. But his IQ athletically was just so much higher than most of the people we run into.
Vacation growing up, it was just sports, going to sports games. It was just based around Blake's baseball and his favorite teams, and I would just be there for the ride.
It's been really exciting to watch Blake grow up. I think really from the standpoint that, you know, he was always undersized as a younger kid, and you were always kind of wondering, hey, when's this kid going to grow? Because obviously he had the talent, but you kind of need some other physical attributes to go with it.
I remember one time, was it Georgetown?
Georgetown?
Yeah.
He buzzed it.
He buzzed it.
He gave him. It was tough. Kids, when you're in junior high, you don't see a lot of guys fading away, especially from the three-point line. I mean, he caught the ball, and you could tell from when he shot it, he wanted the shot, and I mean, netted it. Yeah. It was nice.
No, I mean, he's my baby, and just seeing him grow up. But it was nice to see him actually on the field and not being a ball boy.
Coming from where I came from, being here, I wasn't used to guys that young having that fire, that competitiveness, that drive, and I really learned from him and his dad that to compete, it can be so fun. It's so many emotions that go into sports, and he just taught me so many things about sports and how to just compete and go out there and have fun,
especially with your teammates.
Yeah,
It's a great time.
he just pushes everybody to be better.
As the class of 2022 approached their varsity years, the whole world came to a screeching halt.
Applying the brakes, the IHSA officially pauses all sports today, including basketball, following Governor Pritzker and the IDPH's COVID-19 protocols.
It was devastating. That's our life, I think. Missing just competing out there with them, it sucks.
It was unbearable, I think is the right word. I mean, you're just sitting around trying to figure out how to tell people stories when there are no stories to tell, besides everybody's trapped at home and trying to avoid this virus.
So they got their friends taken away, they got their sports taken away, they got everything taken away from them. I think it took them a while to figure out, we're not going to get to play, we're not going to get to do this.
It was a little bit of a heartbreak for us guys because we had no answers to our questions about how long this could take and what the next steps were. But when I think it was like a month later down the road, we're tired of waiting, let's get ready now and let's be great together.
When COVID hit, we wanted him to come out and be the starting quarterback. So what did he need to do to be the starting quarterback? He needed to get bigger, he needed to get stronger, he needed to get faster.
Yeah, so if I can remember right, I think Blake did reach out to me and said, hey, we're getting this group of guys together. We're going to start working out, I think 6 days a week, and we're going to push each other to our limits and see how far we can get. And all of us bought in 100%, and it's showing right now.
I went to a few of those.
How many of those you show up to, David?
It was probably 4 or 5.
That's pushing it.
Yeah, that's probably pushing it. But when I was there, it was always a goal that we were working towards. And Blake there, he's always pushing us to be better at.
I remember over summer, especially when COVID hit, it was 2 weeks in, and I remember Blake telling me that he had been doing some workouts in his garage and that he wanted to try it out with me and him. It was he said it was going to be really hard. His dad was going to put us to a speed train, and I knew that for a fact. I wanted to get faster because I had slow feet. And we did a few workouts. We invited Ulrette to come on out, then T. Hinch eventually, Damien. And it just became into this group of guys together that really just grinded every single day, worked hard. Only day off was Sunday. I mean, we had it set. It was speed, and then we do cardio on Saturdays. And I mean, every day being out there, there was days that there was a guy that really just didn't want to be there, didn't want to stay in their bed. Every other kid was doing that summer. And it was always either, most of the time, Blake, because I mean, it was his garage or one of us that would pick each other up, and we just made each other stronger. I mean, it was a case in point of pack of the wolf is the pack and the pack is the wolf. We just all made each other stronger. And that summer especially, not only did I get stronger physically and so did Blake, I think we all got stronger mentally and just learned how to push through problems together, face adversity. It's a great time.
Didn't know what was going to happen, especially we were going to be varsity players. And then we just kind of got after it in Coach Kimball's gym and then worked our asses off. And so really paid off.
I'd almost get daily videos of them out throwing and running and lifting, and I think that was kind of the transformation of him from a good athlete to I really want to be a great athlete here. And any kid, or in that case the kids that were there that did all that sold out for that, was pretty amazing. They had no idea what was coming, but yet they just kept working it.
They were sad. I kind of liked having no games and just being together and spending time at night together. It was nice just not traveling all the time. I actually enjoyed it.
So I never thought I would miss sports, but I missed him playing sports and watching him.
And then not seeing those kids get an opportunity to take part in a lot of the things that make school special was hurtful. Very difficult to swallow. But the positive thing out of all of that is that group of kids is such a great group of kids that they continued to work hard. They continued to do all of the things that they could do to make themselves better.
But I do think it made us better. I know it made me a better teacher. I think it made us better coaches, all that. It seemed like everybody was helping each other out. I just think, you can take some positives from it. You really can.
Looking back on it where they are now, the togetherness and the time they put in and deciding that they weren't going to let COVID beat them and they were going to work, because they decided that when their time was there, they were going to be ready, and I think it made them better athletes, and they paid the price and they were ready.
It's truly a historic day for the IHSA. I don't think it's hyperbole to say this was the most anticipated board of directors meeting in the organization's long history, as they announced the timeline for play for all remaining high school sports and activities the remainder of this school year. Basketball and traditional winter sports get the first crack. They can start as
We were just filled with joy.
We finally got it. Couldn't have been happier. We were just all ready to get after it. And first practice, you know, was awesome.
That one practice was energetic. Everybody doesn't want to take it for granted, so everybody's playing hard. I mean, I've never had so much fun in a practice in my life.
I didn't want these kids to lose out on one more game.
343 days after the ISHA shut down sports, high school sports has returned, and the Rockets were ready to show off all of their hard work in 3 shortened seasons of play.
We've endured a lot to get to this point together, but here we are, high school sports on a Friday night, and we are ready to roll.
Has Unity and Rantoul matching up in Tolono. Unity leads by 10 in the second, and they add a little insurance with Nate Drennan coming in to the lane for Toul. Rantoul there tries to cut the deficit. Jackson Freeman with the catch and shoot behind the arc, and to close out the half, it's Unity's Dylan Rutledge with the buzzer beater. Trent Frazier would say, "That's cash." Unity goes on to win this one 53-32.
Despite fewer games being played, the class of 2022 started to catch the eye of local sports media.
Next play, Blake Kimball to Nate Drennan. The athlete of the week avoids the pack, runs it in for the touchdown. The extra point fails.
Like, oh, this kid can shoot. Oh, this kid can pitch and he can hit. And then, oh, now he's the starting quarterback too. And he's just got it all going for him. Yeah. So I think it really was the off the field part of it that I noticed about him first. And then he just ramped up the intensity with all of his success in athletics. It was like, yeah, this is going to be a kid to watch.
The prophecy is true.
So it was really exciting to see him come to the high school. It was exciting to see him develop over the years, get into the weight room, get bigger and stronger, and then obviously grow a little bit. And then it was really exciting to start seeing him have a lot of success. Obviously, he inherited his mother's athletic ability, and that's really kind of helped him quite much.
After a condensed junior year of sports, the 2021-2022 school year was set to get back on track. Blake and his friends would be able to have all 3 sports seasons in their entirety. It was now time for Unity's class of 22 to showcase their talents.
Very central to Tolono. The Hawks will be on the board first. And Brett, I'll be happy to say I participated a little bit today.
Okay.
My first career tackle there.
Watch out.
That did lead to a touchdown later on, but Unity responds as Blake Kimball airs it out to Tyler Hens in the end zone. It's a tie game in Tolono. 41-28, all Rockets. Scott Hamilton picks up win 250 in his career.
All right, off to the Rockets a little bit later. Blake Kimball in for the touchdown to make it a 2-score game at 20-8. Spartans trying to get some fireworks.
And as our season progressed, you could just see things. You could see him gaining even more confidence, which he never really lacked much of to begin with, but you could see him gaining more confidence because his play was becoming so good. And the relationship that he had with his linemen and his receivers, and he was the quarterback that brought donuts into the offensive film meetings on Saturday mornings because it was more than just him. It was about everybody around him. And
Kimball.
always talking about smelling the popcorn and getting the popcorn ready. Blake knows when the popcorn's popping. It's exciting to see.
In basketball, if the team's down by 10, 12 points, suddenly 4 3-pointers, there you go, you're back in the game because Blake just went off or drove the net for a couple baskets.
As well. In the quarterback, Blake Kimball breaks the press. Jay Saunders wide open in the lane for the bucket, 41-34. Rockets a win of Ogden, and we might be out of a job soon, Andy. The Ocho in attendance in the house tonight.
Look at those guys.
Ready to roll. For Unity, who gets out in transition, Blake Kimball swings it to Austin Langendorf in the corner for the triple. SJO calls timeout. It is all Unity tonight. That was an 8-0 run there. They went at 67-44. Features Unity welcome Olympia to Tolono. The Rockets having a great season at 22-3. Wind blowing out to left. Cam Marvin looks like he pops it up, but it carries, and it is out for a 2-run shot of the yard. Blake Kimball recenters on the mound, though, gets the strikeout cutting through the wind. 11-6.
Top left up there. Yes, sir. All right, here we go. Let's another one get up there.
For a kid like Blake, it's so fortunate, considering the career he's gone on to have, that he was not a senior when COVID struck in 2020, because, man, all the things we would have missed out on is just crazy to think about.
Then all of a sudden they get to be seniors, and you see them and you look at them, and they're state runner-up in football. They win 20 games in basketball. They're on a 22-game win streak in baseball. Well, how did that all happen? Well, it happened with a lot of great coaches working with them to help them get better. But more importantly, what really happened was they took it upon themselves to make themselves better. So it's been fantastic to watch.
It's been awesome. Obviously it's been weird, but I wouldn't change it for the world. The experiences that we got to go through, I will never forget those. Those will be with me my entire life.
First team All-Area in football. He was first team All-Area in basketball. He was our All-Area Player of the Year in football. There's a good chance he could be All-Area first team in baseball once this season is over. He's playing well enough to certainly accomplish that. That just doesn't happen. Getting 3 All-Area first team honors in a single school year, that just doesn't happen.
This senior group, has changed the climate of the school. Just walking down the hallways. And obviously they've won a lot, but they're good kids. I think they're going to go on and do great things in their life. I think 10 years from now, I think you and I will still be talking about this group. There'll be other great groups, and I hope that this group gets eclipsed. But I do know that we will still be saying, man, that was a lot of fun.
This year's senior class, and I told them this last night at Senior Honors Night, has 26 Illinois State scholars and has brought home 4 state trophies in the last year. Pretty impressive. And what's even better about all of them is that they're the kind of kids you really truly want to root for. They're just great kids, They're the kind of kids you want to root for, and they're the kind of kids you love seeing have all the success that they're having.
Served as a mother, but also he wouldn't have done it without his friends and his teammates. But yeah, I'm very proud of him. Very, very proud. Time went so slowly until this year, and then now it's gone way too fast. But the last couple of years have been great, but way, way too fast. But yeah, he's done great, and I'm very proud of him. I'm ready for his next chapter.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. And it's sad to see that it's about to end, but he's got another chapter coming. And it's for a father to see that success. It's been pretty cool. I'm super proud of him and the way that he did it. Never was in the principal's office. Going up and down the hallways and having teachers come up to me and say, man, he's a good student, he's a good kid, and he treats us with respect. I know that Amanda and I look at that as way more important than the sports stuff, although it's been great. For him to do it the way he's done it has been special. He couldn't ask for better teammates than what he's had, but as a parent, Amanda and I, it's been an incredible ride.
In closing, the only thing I want to congratulate Blake for all the success he's had athletically. It's deserved, and he's earned all of that. And I just want to remind Blake to understand that as he moves on in college, that when the popcorn's popping, brother, that's when it counts. So have a great career, buddy.
Matt Daniels here at Unity High School in Salono. We named Blake Kimball our Male Athlete of the Year. Surprised him in the school cafeteria. Had the whole school come out. Really cool ceremony we had here. Stay tuned for more next week before we unveil our Female Athlete of the Year.